But at that time, things were going well. There were opportunities, and we were beginning to start developing programs, reaching out, developing communications. And something terrible happened, and war was restored. And there was an escalation of conflict, of which we were not responsible. The donor was not impressed. I went to Japan, and he said, well, I gave you money and I said, you know, that you would stop this war. I was convinced and persuaded by you. But it seems to me that the more money I give you, the worse the conflict becomes. He stopped the grant. And this, I think, is a good reminder for us that something terrible happens in the areas that we work in. And then we are engaged in a rearguard action against an ever-present prankster, the Joker, who astounds us again and again and challenges. We have to pick up the pieces and start again. This protean foe, this Joker, this prankster is ever present with us. And however much we plan, and however much we rational we are, at some point or the other, the prankster astounds us. We cannot have it fitted to our strategic plans. What I am trying to say is that conflicts have its own dynamics and its own history. And the sheer force of that is such that we basically have to be more humble in that approach. Burundi is another example. Frank and I went to New York and met the Secretary General, Rupesinghe. He was seized with the problem of Burundi. Rwanda genocide had just happened. And the first thing he asked us was, do you think you could jam the hate radio in Burundi? It's spreading hate radio. Hate all over the place, he said. So I said, look, we are not an NGO equipped with jamming hate radios. Perhaps we should create one. But that is not our business. But we've come to talk about is coordination. And that there was no coordination in the international community on Burundi. And he laughed at it. I remember him saying, coordination? I cannot even coordinate my 3 departments here in the Secretariat. And you are asking me to coordinate Burundi. And he said, well, you must get in touch with Aoud Abdallah, our special envoy. And I remember on the 21st of December, we got in touch. I called him, and it was, he said, like music to his ears. I said, we must try to create complementarity. Let us work towards an action plan together. And from the 21st of December, we talked every day at 10:30 in the night, shared our work together, and conceived of an action plan and a conference here, where 80 people from different agencies, governments, Burundians, NGOs, all of them were able to participate and work out and vision a common action. And that action plan helped us to create that coalition and the legitimacy for our operations in Burundi. Many things have happened, but I want to just stress on what is it that we actually do in Burundi or elsewhere. What we do is to connect the dots. What we are doing is to help those who are trapped in that conflict with their own histories and their own myths, which drive them to connect with the other. We help them space, we give them space to tell stories to each other about their sisters and their brothers, but whom they've lost in these wars, so that their common humanity can be rediscovered through that process. That's what we do. We accompany them in that process. We don't own them. We never do. We accompany. We create that space. We help to build that trust. And it takes years and years of patient work. I just come back from Belfast, and I know that it is not the peace which is crafted by the politicians at the top which eventually will matter. But it is that infrastructure of trust created at the bottom. The countless amount of work that is done by citizens. The municipalities, the local governments, and the service providers who can bring people together in their actual day-to-day life and in the realities that they work with.